I really suffered through my military career and then after with alcoholism and prescription drug addiction, and a lot of pain and suffering in that. It was the aspect of, I was married for, almost a quarter of a century, have two beautiful children. But life changes. And some of those changes were finding my true self at the bottom of the valley and cleaning my act up. I think that's where the nurse in her, the healer in her, has healed me along the way.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wallbreaker 200. I am your host, Raheel Siddiqui, coming to you from a library in Las Vegas. But so excited to be here, so thankful, so grateful. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are making history again, because for the second time, I am blessed to have two amazing guests on the show. Welcome to the show. We have Lisa Sander and Ryan Reichert from the Twin Cities. Minnesota, stand up.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Let's go. But no, so excited, so thankful for you guys to be here. Wanted to kind of kick things off and just honestly just throw it over to you guys. I want to kind of know about your background, know about your guys' story, what brings you guys here to my show, and also I want to let the crowd and audience know, just kind of give us a quick high level, please, of like what's going on and who you guys are, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Reichert from Hoople, North Dakota originally, so
Okay.
Tatertown, USA. And for my side of the street, our Protector Development is a company that I started last year,
Okay.
and authoring some books and a few other things. But the bigger side of it is Lisa and I co-host Our Healer and Our Protector with Ryan and Lisa, and it's been super special. But I want Lisa to tell her side of the street.
My background is I've been a nurse for 24 years,
Okay.
and there was something more I needed to do and get out there to help others. So Ryan and I just kind of got together, and I was telling him about my dreams. Sixth grade, I did a little Oprah Winfrey show with my girlfriend, April.
Awesome.
Oprah was my aha person growing up, and I've always wanted to do something to inspire others. And now he believed in me, and we're making that dream come true. So
Awesome. No, that's great. That's great to hear. That wonderful story. 24 years, man.
yeah.
You guys are young. Seriously, you look so young. You age well. I got to talk to you about aging, man, because I feel like my back feels like 60 these days, Oh my God, that's incredible. But no, thank you for sharing that high level. And I know one thing, this show, Wallbreaker 200, we talk about breaking walls down. And I think the audience who do follow me, they know about my story really well in terms of, my weight loss journey and all the walls that I've had to break. And Ryan, I know that you've had a very just inspiring story and breaking down a lot of walls. And, please, and I know Lisa, you as well, but just kind of, talk us through it, let it rip. Let us know like all the walls that you've broken down and everything that's led us from point A to point B to where you are right now, and just kind of rolling with things, man. Marrying Lisa here and, keeping the things going.
Well, we're not married.
We're not married.
Not married.
Together.
Together with Lisa.
Yeah,
Together.
just partners in crime.
I was trying to throw a little subliminal message here. We're in Vegas, man. We're in Vegas.
Never know. No, we're partners in crime.
Exactly. But what led
perfect.
you to Lisa here and your journey and your path from point A to point B and all the walls you guys are breaking?
Yeah,
Please.
absolutely. Well, I think first, I kind of don't tell the story always of like being a soldier. I was 23 years in the U.S. Army, so airborne ranger, infantryman, retired as lieutenant colonel a few years back, and I did the Fortune 500 gig, and it led me obviously to starting this awesome journey that we're on. This adventure is really what it is, and the adventure has begun. Yes, did meet Lisa on Match.com about 18 months ago.
Match.com.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's how we do it.
But yeah, you look at the trials and tribulations of life, and I really suffered through my military career and then after with alcoholism and prescription drug addiction.
Okay.
And a lot of pain and suffering in that. It was the aspect of, I was married for, almost a quarter of a century, have two beautiful children. But life changes, and some of those changes were, finding, my true self at the bottom of the valley and cleaning my act up. And I think that's where the nurse in her, the healer in her, has healed me along the way. And I mean, I could protect everybody under the sun. I certainly couldn't protect myself.
Right.
And I think I was that 6-year-old little boy just wanting somebody to protect me.
Yeah.
And, through our time together, creating this business together and everything else, it's really healed me. And kind of went from a boy to a man in a short period of time, even though, 50's closer than a lot of things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you for sharing that really quick. And it's funny, man, I have to ask, because I feel like that's an amazing story, and thank you for sharing that. Do you have like a turning point per se? Because I feel like, the audience knows about my turning point, my switch with my father, and how everything kind of unfolded with me. Talk to us about just like a turning point. Was there like a switch or like a flip where it kind of was like, man, I got to just kind of, switch, flip that switch and then kind of go?
Yeah. I mean, I think I was spiritually bankrupt. I was emotionally bankrupt. Over time and space, I was probably financially bankrupt too. Not counting dollars and cents here, but that was a real aspect of it. When I found my faith, I have a couple of buddies' kids that are always like, what is that you have on your wrist? And it's interesting since we all put our hands out on the table. I don't wear a watch, but I do wear, the Lord's Prayer on my wrist here, and I'm always where I'm supposed to be. It tells perfect time. Yep. And it's created this amazing life today that I never knew would be possible because I was always so self-absorbed. I cared all about Ryan, and now I care about everybody else. I mean, between, the three of us here, like your guys's story and aspects are way more important to me than my own. And, but, we get to be on your show and we get to tell our story.
Sure, man. Listen, everyone's story is special. Everyone's story is unique. And it's always like, I love the fact, and thank you so much for opening up. I really appreciate that. I know our viewers do. And it's funny because people always come to me and they're like, hey, Raheel, your story is so great. And it means the world to me about losing 200 pounds. And I only lost like 5 pounds. And I tell them, hey, hold up. Losing 5 pounds is an amazing story. Yeah. And I tell people we shouldn't live in a world of comparison. I feel like that's what makes the world beautiful, unique, diverse, different, right? I think every journey is special and unique. And your story is awesome, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. And also you talked about healing. Lisa, talk to us just about you, about, your journey, kind of like the walls that you've broken down to get to this point, and, throughout your nursing background, your path towards running. Just kind of walk us through, what you've been through, please.
My turning point was COVID. I have been a nurse in all different areas, and COVID came and I was the charge nurse, and I had to be strong in front of my team and to gather us all together and to watch people die every day and do CPR. And I have always asked my patients when they, before they are going to die, like, if you were to change anything in life, what would you change? And they said, do things in your 40s so you can still do them in your 70s. Don't wait, because then you can't do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, a nurse is a blessing and a curse. When I say that, you can work every day and make as much money as you want. And it's a curse also because people can take advantage of you as a provider. And nurses are natural born people pleasers. Yep. So when COVID hit, I was like, what am I doing with my life? And I need to change this. I am working so hard for what? Yes, I love being a nurse and I love being impactful to my patients, to the people I work with, but I need to fill my cup up too. So I climbed my first mountain, Flatiron in Arizona.
Oh, wow.
And it took me 5 hours. And on the way up, I cried. I prayed. I laughed so hard. I almost peed my pants. And I'm like, this is not going to be good if I'm on a mountain. I was scared to death. There was at one point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am not going to be able to get down. But there is one awesome thing on the way up. My girlfriend's got ahead of me, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get up to this next section. And I just said, God, I want to keep going. I need to make it up. I don't know what to do with my feet. And out of nowhere, this guy came up and he goes, do you need help? And he gave me his hand and he told me where to place my feet. And I'm like, that was God. And when I got to the top of the mountain, I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. And it was mind over matter. And that day forward, I started traveling and I changed my life.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here today. I also got a divorce. Never thought in a million years I would ever get a divorce. But I am so grateful for where I am, and I want to show my kids what they can do with their life and how you can change and pivot.
No, for sure. And I think both of you guys, looking at both of you guys' stories, it's truly about the comeback, right? And I think that's why I love, I hope I should love my own show. But I love starting my show, and I love my show, Wallbreaker 200, because I truly believe in the comeback, right? I truly believe that, you know, life does have walls in front of you, and I feel like you have to learn how to truly take the beating of your life. And I'm a big like Rocky Balboa fan, and I'm a huge Rocky fan. And it's like, you know, you're gonna hit your opponent. Like life is truly a 12-round fight, man. I tell people this all the time, whether in weight loss, fitness, wellness, you know, any aspect of your life, everything that you went through and you've went through, it's like, you know, what he says it himself, like, you know, if you're a fighter, you want to expect to hit your opponent, but guess what? Your opponent is going to hit you back, right? Your opponent's not going to say, hey, just knock me out. It doesn't work that way. And I feel like that's the beauty of life. It's like, you know, man, like you feel like you have all the answers and everything is going to be, you're going to get from point A to point B, and it's going to be so simple, and it's going to be just an easy ride, 65 miles an hour driving, cruising. But no, there's nothing but bumps and, you know, obviously walls along the way, not on the road, but just in our lives. And I feel like, no, that's definitely just such a great background and great experience. And I think that's what people need to hear. I think that's something that they should hear. So I appreciate you guys sharing both of your journeys. You guys mentioned you guys are starting your podcast. Talk about it, just to give us a little bit of background of it. What, you know, what are we doing here? Who are we talking to?
Ooh, we're so excited.
What are we doing here with this podcast?
So it's called Our Healer, Our Protector.
Okay.
So, and our Christian faith.
Okay.
I have never wavered. God has always been with me. It's been instilled with me since I can remember. And so I haven't had fear in letting, I always knew God had a plan for me. So when things, people are always like, Lisa, how do you get back up? How do you show up to work? Like some people are like, I didn't even know you were going through a divorce.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am so grateful for every single day. And when you're talking about opponents, sometimes the opponent is yourself.
Yeah, 100%, 1000% you versus you.
Yep. But
toughest opponent is you
Yes.
versus you. It's
Yeah.
literally.
yeah, but you let God into your life and you really let him take control. And what I have learned in the last 17 months of even letting God take more control, and I want to teach that to others. It is so unbelievable. And we want to inspire others and help them get through the process of forgiving themselves, forgiving others. And what does healing look like? What does healing feel like? I did not know if I would ever know what healing felt like. And I know what it feels like now.
Yeah.
And we want to teach people and be authentic. And we are Christians with flaws. And we might even cuss a little.
I cuss a lot.
Yes.
Hey man, no judgment zone. Wallbreaker 200, no judgment zone, man.
So
none at all.
We want to break down boundaries and those people pleasers out there, we're going to teach you how to put yourself first, but to still give to others and set boundaries. Ryan,
no, I mean, that's the thing. At least hit it on the head. It's like having no boundaries, right? I'm a people pleaser, you know, I'm a giver, right? It's this aspect. And, you know, the problem is you're around takers, so they're going to take. And that's on us, though. Right. I mean, so it's okay to say no. It's okay to get strong. And I love you bringing up Rocky because my first book's coming out June 3rd.
Okay.
God only knows when the devil comes for you. A second chance at life. And chapter 12 kind of talks about, you know, that ain't you.
Right.
And it's that aspect, you know,
right.
You get hit, you know, like, and you go down, you got to get back up again.
100%.
And when I think about that, that's the aspect of our podcast is you're either, you know, needing to protect somebody or, you know, you need to heal somebody or heal yourself. And it's this aspect of how do we do that? What does it look like? You know, what are you doing? Just like you did, like thinking back, like, you know, day one, what did that look like? You know, when you're like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right. 100%. No, without a doubt. And I agree. And that's great. And I think that's also the, you know, the strongest point, like you guys mentioned. I feel like the problem that I see with so many people, it's, you know, I am in this position where I've fallen down or I've hit that wall and I'm at that wall and I'm trying to break it. And maybe I've tried for a day and maybe I've tried for a week or months or years and I still can't break it down. And people will ask me like all the time, well, hey man, I've been doing this for XYZ amount of time and I can't break it down. And I'm like, do it again and do it again, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, quitting is never going to break that wall down.
No.
Never, right? Had you quit, you would have never gotten over your amazing comeback story.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what you've been through to come back, man. I mean, you're an absolute stud looking the way you look. Those tattoos looking jacked. She looks amazing. Like I said, I got to talk to you about how you age so gracefully too. But I feel like, you guys are so much stronger. And I hope you guys agree with me, but you're so much stronger. And I feel like you guys have learned so much from those lessons. Yeah. It's in a way you kind of appreciate what you've been through, because had you not gone through what you guys have gone through, you guys wouldn't be here right now.
No.
In this very moment.
No,
you know?
Exactly.
And it goes back, and I got to throw this Rocky scene out too, because you talked about Rocky, but it goes back to Rocky too, when Duke talked to Apollo. Yeah. I love that scene when he was like, we don't need this fight. And Apollo's like, why not? He was like, I won, but I beat him, but I didn't win, man. Like, and the Duke was like, dude, like, you're summarizing, he's like, I saw you beat that man like you never beat anyone before. But the man kept coming after you, and I feel like you guys probably hear it in my voice and the goosebumps that I get. And I feel like that's how I want to be remembered. That's how I want people to be looking at me. Like, I'm the guy that took the beating of my life, and I just kept coming, and I kept getting up. And I love hearing how you guys are the same path, right? I mean, because that's really what it takes. And I think when you talked about healing per se, and I think also that's the struggle that we're seeing today too, really quick to each of you guys, just give us some tips to others out there really quickly, just high level bullets tips of how people can heal. Like if you're going through a trauma right now and you're just trying to find ways to heal, or maybe a first step, just kind of give just high level bullets thoughts on what you guys would suggest out there to the audience.
Going through divorce, that's traumatic. And the healing process is, I have no regrets being married for as long as I was, and my children growing up in the house that we did. But my healing is now my ex-husband. He is an amazing dad. I am who I am, and we've both grown, but I'm not mad anymore for how we did not stay together. So the process is taking the control that you don't have control of that, and forgiving yourself, and forgiving that other person.
That's great advice.
The healing process is step by step, and loving yourself for who you are today. You can't change the past. So you have to keep moving forward.
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more with all of it. It's just this aspect too of asking for help, like understanding that, like, as a man, like we have feelings, right?
100%.
Like we all have feelings, but men have feelings too. And it's this aspect of, like, when you're on a knee and you're about ready to get knocked out, like knowing that, Mick's in your corner, right? You're like, hey, and it's just like, so take a pause, like ask for help, and take action on that help though, whatever that looks like. And, sometimes, like, when you can't help yourself, you help somebody else. And for me, I think, when I started my recovery journey, that was the aspect where you are asking for a lot of help, but you don't really know how. But I think depending on in the rooms for me where I was going, people can see that, and the right folks, when you surrender properly, come to you, like, or you're drawn in, just like us here today. Like all three of us have very similar stories.
Right.
And, we're in this amazing room, in this amazing setting on your show. And it's like 3 comeback kids.
Literally. And,
like, we're not the only 3 in this world.
No.
And so
in a library in Vegas of all places. Can you believe it? I don't think I've ever been to a library. I don't know how I graduated college, man. I mean, seriously, but I couldn't agree more. Exactly.
It's like you talk about the tattoos on this arm. I have faith, hope, and love. And it's this creation of, whatever your beliefs are, if you believe in a higher power, like, your faith side of it will get you to hope, and that hope that you create by taking the next step or coming off of that knee and just standing up.
And actually, piggybacking off of that, I feel like exactly what you said, next step, but I'll even go one further to taking the first step. Right. And I always tell people that all the time. The hardest step in life is the first step. Yeah. And that was literally my process, man. I had to admit that I was 405 pounds and I was obese and I was overweight, and I had to come to reality. Like, this is the terms to reality. Like, man, I got to ask for help.
Yeah.
As a man, as a guy who was 27, who was flamboyant, had the New York City swag. I was still swagged out, even at 405 pounds. I had the accent, but all seriousness though, I had the pride too. I was like, dude, I don't want to ask for help. Like, I'm a dude, but no, I did. I needed it. I needed it all the way. And it did cost me a lot along the way, but I am grateful for those journey, for the journey and for the lessons that I shared, because at the end of the day, the hardest step was the first step. But after you take that first step, and I hope both you guys agree, everything, it might not seem like it, but it will get easier. You know, it's just the hardest step. You have to take that first step, man. And then after that, little by little, piece by piece, it'll become easier. So I couldn't agree with you guys more. Where can our audience find you guys, man? Let it rip. How can we find you guys? Whoever wants to get on the show.
Well, yeah.
If I can get on the show,
It's absolutely. But
everybody find
for myself, Ryan T. Reichert, you can hit me on any of the social media platforms out there. Like I said, God only knows when the devil comes for you. Second Chance of Life will be out 3 June. So Amazon pre-order or Barnes & Noble. And Lisa, I'll let you say where to find you.
I am Lisa Sander 21
Instagram, right?
on Instagram. Yes. And I got some fun stuff coming out, and I do some coaching too. So
okay.
Yes. But yeah, when you're talking about the first steps, like opening yourself up to a higher power, whatever that may be for somebody,
for sure,
and start your day off that way, either through music or podcasts or reading the Bible.
No, for sure. No, that's great. Definitely. Well, hey, look, thank you guys so much for coming. We made history today. Like I said, I really appreciate the both of you guys. I look to see you guys down the line. I'm going to look out for that invite now, man. Don't fake on me.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have you.
You'll be on.
Well, no, thank you guys so much. Love having you guys. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed your time here. That wraps up our show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Wall Breaker 200 with your host, Raheel Siddiqui, the Wall Breaker himself. Not hitting the craps table, not hitting blackjack either. I have no luck with either of those. Hitting that treadmill first thing in the morning, though. Thank you guys. Have a good one.